Hey everybody, Rob Orgel, your favorite silencer nut job who helps you spend money you're not supposed to spend from your kids' college tuition. I'm with Eric today.
Sounds like my title. I'm the owner of East Valley Tactical, Arizona's largest silencer dealer located in Mesa.
Cool, let's talk about January, the upcoming 2026 and what's going to change. So first, $0 tax stamp. Now, that's a big deal for a ton of reasons. Yes. I mean, it's been a long time since the federal government has budged in the proper direction since the 2-penny tax on tea. Yeah. So this is a very big deal that we're cutting this $200. And now, let me throw a big disclaimer out there. Did you write this rule?
No.
Oh, that's weird, because I didn't either. So stop putting mean comments about how you don't like the ATF. I don't like the ATF either. So help us damn the ATF by put a like, comment, subscribe. Help push this video so that the ATF can know that we don't like them. They're not my friends, they're not your friends. Got it. I didn't write the rule, he didn't write the rule. We're just understanding what we should do about it based on what's happening. And that is, yes, you cannot regulate a tax that costs $0. That's not a tax. So how can you have a tax stamp when there's no tax associated with the tax stamp? It becomes just a stamp. It's not a tax stamp anymore. So we should then, soon or later, be able to deregulate the whole idea of the stamp and the regulation and registration of any of these items. So that's the whisper. We're making a step in that direction. So the way I see it now is come January, or between now and January, and then after January, there's three things that are likely to have three parallel universes. And the first one is everything goes exactly according to plan. Let's come back to that one. Yep. Something changes to our benefit. Things get less regulated between now and January or after, or things happen the opposite direction and things get a lot worse than they were before. So let's start with the most likely course of action, in my opinion, and that is January comes around and no tax stamps, free silencers for everybody. Yep. You pay your $600 or insert number here. You do your paperwork. 3 days later, like it used to be, you get your silencer and everything's hunky-dory and happy. But wait, there's a twist. What silencers will be in stock come January 1st?
Basically none. I think it will be such a significant increase in demand that the industry literally has never seen.
How many guys have you seen in comments of videos or come into your store and they say, I'll wait till it's free?
A lot.
Right.
Literally hundreds, if not thousands.
Right. And that's just in our sphere of influence and people we're working with. So there's a lot more people that are not talking about buying a silencer that have been thinking about it. So remember when it was 9 months and then it became 90 days or less and people went crazy? Nothing was in stock. And then it went from 90 days or less to 2 weeks or less typically, and people went crazy again. And now we're looking at, I don't know, free? So people are going to go nuts. So what's the best thing we can do to play this to our individual benefit?
Here's what customers are doing at EVT. I'll mention that. So the silencers that people know they want, that they just got a new gun, they know they want that PTR Vent 1 for it, they're buying it as it's in stock. Some are choosing to process it immediately. They get their can, they get it immediately, they get a quick approval, they're happy, everyone's happy. Some other customers who want to save the $200 are saying, hey, I want to lock up that inventory before it's gone, so I'm going to pay for the silencer now, and then I'm going to have you hold it till January and submit it then. So that's an option we're giving to customers to save them $200 while still getting the inventory they want.
Smart business for you to keep sales going, because this could be a drought if we're not careful. Smart business for the client who says, hey, I don't want to lose my chance to get this before they're out of stock and I have to buy Joe's up the street silencer because the PTR Vent 1, per your example, is no longer in stock anywhere, and it's pre-ordered for years to come. So I think across the board, those are all smart maneuvers. And then last time we talked, you said the odd trend was about 2 weeks later once they said, okay, I recovered my $1,200 to my next paycheck, and I don't want to wait 4 more months now.
Yes.
So they do the paperwork.
I'd say about 20% of customers who think they're going to wait till January cannot wait till January.
I wouldn't either,
I wouldn't personally.
So now let's talk about my course of action. I'm just doing business as usual. So if there's like 5 silencers I want to get, maybe I get 1 or 2 of those because I'm holding my breath for the $200 tax stamp to be gone. But then I'm not like stopping all operations because January is still a long way away. And I mean, I remember when it was 9 months to get a silencer every single time. And if say January 1 comes around and you find the silencer in stock, how long do you think you'll be waiting to get it come January 1?
I think the processing time is going to increase. Do I think it's going to go back to 6-9 months a year? I don't personally, but I do think that the 2, 3, 4 day approvals we're seeing right now, I don't think that we're going to see that in January, just based on the sheer volume.
Totally.
Even if they have the most efficient process possible, if you double, triple, quadruple the number of applications, it's bound to go.
And we're talking about the federal government here.
Yes.
So efficiency isn't exactly. So to be as updated as possible, coincidentally, this morning I had the new AK-47 silencer from, I want to make sure I say it right, Zastava? Zastava.
Yep.
Some people say Zestava, that sounds like body wash. I think it's more like a Zastava. Anyways, they sent me an AK-47 silencer, which I'm really excited. 3D printed.
That thing's cool.
I'm so excited to test it, and I look forward to sharing with you my findings. But that took 4 days to go from paperwork submitted to approved as of this morning. So if you're like, should I wait, should I not? 4 days is what my most recent experience was. Another one got submitted this morning. You just submitted one for me yesterday.
Yep.
So I'll keep a finger on the pulse, and I'll know, and I'll keep posting these videos. But I mean, at under 1 week, if you could have a crystal ball and say, come January, it's going to be 4 months. Wouldn't you feel silly for not buying your silencer now and just paying the $200?
Personally, yes.
Yeah. Do you remember when it was 9 months? People were like, "Look, bro, I'll pay you $400. Just give it to me today, right?" And now, like, that happened because now you're $0 to $200. So just, I don't know. My 2 cents for my lifestyle and my value on money is I'm just going to keep buying silencers. I would say at a regular rate, but I'm an addict, and I think you already know that about me. But I'm going to keep buying silencers at the regular rate for me. For everyone else, I would say probably just do the same. Money is money, $200. It's time of your life, 4 more months that you get to play with it now, or maybe a year if things don't go right. So hopefully they get this right. Maybe it goes exactly the way it's been going. They've got the system and they can remove a bunch of guys and bog the system down and it works. Rain or shine, hell or high water, the federal government, they're on top of things and you get your silencer quick, in which case I'll put my foot in my mouth and say, but I had my silencer for 4 more months longer than you.
Yep. And we'll still be happy if that happens, right? Well, that means more people are having a good experience.
If you unregulate machine guns, I'm a machine gun owner. I'll lose tons of money in my investments, but I'll be happy that machine guns are now deregulated. I'll take the hit for the team. That's my stance on the silencer tax and all things above. Okay, so now let's go further into crazy wait times if this happens the way we think, out of stock items if this happens the way we think. So I'm going to keep doing what I think I should do. Now let's look at the other 2 alternate universes. And one is it changes. To what degree does it change in our benefit? I don't know. It could be a rifle magazine. It could be you buy them at the store at 5 years old, because if you throw a silencer in the playground, no children will get hurt. They don't hurt people.
Similar to how it is in Europe for a lot of countries, right?
It's
more of an
rude
accessory.
not to have a silencer. Absolutely, yeah. There's a couple more articles I'm going to be writing about the big deltas between us and them on silencers and 22s and many other fun topics that just kind of eye-opening to think about. But to your point, silencers are normal. They should be normalized. They shouldn't be regulated, and they should be buy it with your extra magazines, buy it with your extra box of bullets, not wait online and do your fingerprints. So say they deregulate it to whatever level, which could very well happen now that it's $0. So it might be that the light at the end of the tunnel isn't actually 4 months out. It could be tomorrow. We don't actually know.
We don't know.
But if it did happen tomorrow, silencer's going to be out of stock, wait times are going to go up. So if you're kind of thinking about a silencer, it's a good idea to either pull the trigger, buy it, or put it on a consignment with a guy like you or someone who's willing to hold it. I think there's a couple other online places who are also doing it, which is, it's just smart business. Okay. The other universe, the evil, bad universe that we don't want to think about existing, and that is the other side says, well, if you get to regulate the money and say, well, it was $200, and now you're going to make it 0, well, why not make it $5,000? And I know that there is a push for that. Do you foresee that happening?
I don't foresee it happening, at least for a while, because of the current makeup of Congress.
Totally.
Right? And I'm not saying that one party is inherently better or worse, but the way Congress lays out now, on the Republican side, they tend to care more about our gun rights currently. And
we've never been in such a good position in the gun rights side. So to your point, I don't see the really bad thing happening. I think it would really suck if it did, not just for me, a silencer consumer, but for everyone else who's watching this content who wants to buy more silencers or is thinking about their next silencer, and everyone else who's in manufacturing and growing this business of silencers, all their careers would be destroyed, all the businesses would be destroyed. It would be a major mass casualty in the gun world and in work economy. So I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that our politics isn't silly enough to do something that silly, especially given how gosh darn common they are now today. And we don't see an increase in crime because of it. The numbers are very plainly obvious. So let's pretend that the bad universe never really does take place, and let's not worry about it anymore. Now, this is all as it pertains to silencers. What do you think this means for short-barreled rifles? I
personally see a similar increase in demand for SBRs that we're going to see for silencers, especially guns that are two-stampers, as I like to call them. SBRs that also come with a silencer, like the Honey Badger SD, your Gen 12s. You save $400. I mean, that's a big amount of money.
Big.
So I think those are going to dry up very quickly as well.
Yeah, all the MP5 SDs we've been eyeballing since we were kids and playing Call of Duty.
Yep.
100%. Yeah, those are going to be gone. But the Form 1s, there's no reason to register a Form 1.
I agree, yeah.
If you're not familiar with Form 1 is when you say, I've got this AR pistol, I want to make it into a short-barreled rifle, so you submit your paperwork through one of your favorite shops, and they charge you $50, $250 later. You now have the permission, your paper slip from the teacher that says you can go out on your field trip and it's not a federal offense anymore. Suddenly it's not dangerous because you got the stamp and you can put a real stock on it and play SBR and Call of Duty like you used to. There's no point in buying any or registering any Form 1s until January.
Now, I'll tell you what, that spear, my zombie gun, you know, I did do a Form 1 on that just because it was a new gun to me and I was very excited to put a stock on it. But for most people, you can make do with a brace for 3 or 4 months. To get a free $200 tax stamp.
Yeah, I'm speaking from both sides of my mouth too. I registered as a BNT because you know those BNT guns are so phenomenal. Yeah. And they don't deserve a brace. They deserve better than that.
I'm with you.
Treat your BNTs nice.
Depends on the gun. Let's say that.
There's some all my BNTs. I love my BNTs. They get braces on.
No, I mean depends on the quality of the gun whether you may want to do a Form 1 on it or not.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I got a BNT and I did register it because I just had to have it in the proper configuration. But the specialty super iconic ones aside, we really shouldn't be. But come January, I mean, there's like 7 or 8 guns. I'm like, yeah, you could have a stock. You could have a stock. Why not? Even if I have to wait 3 or 4 months, you already have the pistol. The inventory's not going anywhere. Yep. But if there is a Form 4, one that's already made by the store or by a manufacturer sitting in the store, you can't make that a Form 1. You have to do a Form 4. So if that stuff or a double stamper, that might still be worth bogging one down, put it in the back of the store, put a deposit on it so that come January, you get the discount plus the weight if things go the way we predict.
Totally agree.
Okay, so we've got silencers, how those are going to change hopefully for us in 3 different universes, how each universe is going to affect each individual within that universe and their silencer, their wait time, and their money, and then Form 1s and Form 4s as it pertains to SBRs. I don't really talk about Form 1 silencers. Form 1 silencers really shouldn't be a thing. No. I mean, it's hard to have a silencer this good unless you have a titanium 3D printer in your basement. It's hard to have a value in a Form 1. So I'm not even going to talk about Form 1s as it pertains to suppressors, just in SBRs. I think that probably wraps it up. I hope that we answered some questions, gained some clarity. If you're looking to get some of this cool stuff, I know a guy.
We can help you out at East Valley Tactical. We're in Mesa, but you can also shop on our website, eastvalleytactical.com. No matter what state you live in, we are happy to help you anytime.
And if you're interested in more silencer reviews or head-to-head comparisons, make sure you check out our content at Silencer Analytics and Silencer Syndicate. We have a lot of head-to-head information that no one else in the industry seems to do. I think I know why, but I seem to be the only guy putting this can against this can and seeing who wins. And in the end, I get definitive winners. And some people don't like that. And some people love it. And in the end, you get to know what's the best silencer for you. If you only found this video because of legal reasons in your research, please feel free to check out some of our other content. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It really goes a long way in that YouTube algorithm because guess what? YouTube, they don't like guns and they don't like me talking about it. So you helping me say F you, bro, really helps. All right, guys, stay safe. We'll see you in the comments.